So look, I long for the day when we can once again have a president in the White House and a majority in the Senate committed to combating climate change. Our children and our grandchildren deserve nothing less. But in the meantime, we must do all we can to make sure New Jersey is ready for whatever Mother Nature throws our way. Sandy taught us that it's a heck of a lot more expensive to rebuild in the aftermath of destructive storms than it is to prevent costly floodings in the first place. That's why I've been fighting to make new federal investments in forward-looking mitigation projects like the Northwest Resiliency Park. When we talk about spending taxpayer money wisely, investing in resilience really pays off. In fact, every dollar spent on flood prevention and mitigation generates another $6 in savings. It's one of the key elements that I am including in the new federal flood program so that we can have more money to mitigation and less money just continuously paying out at the end of the day for the consequences of flooding. And that's why in 2018, Congress created a new FEMA grant program called Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities, or BRIC. And this $14 million makes the Northwest Resiliency Park one of the first BRIC grant recipients in the entire nation. In my view, this project couldn't be more deserving or more cutting edge. It takes an innovative approach that combines flood mitigation, we just saw some of the cisterns and the process here, and natural resiliency measures with public recreation and green space. Once the construction is complete, this former industrial site will be Hoboken's largest public park, boasting athletic fields, gardens, and even an ice rink. And buried underneath will be the true linchpin of the design, a 1 million-gallon water storage tank that will collect water drainage, filter it, and safely discharge it into the Hudson. And also, as I was listening to the construction manager, using some of that water for the very essence of the site in order to keep it green. As a result, this park will not only reduce surface flooding during extreme storms like Sandy, but it will improve water quality itself by reducing sewer overflow into the Hudson. Of course, the park is only a small piece of our efforts to prevent flooding and improve preparedness. After Superstorm Sandy, I worked with then Mayor Zimmer and other officials to secure a $230 million grant from the Department of Housing and Urban Development's Rebuild by Design competition. This funding is helping Hoboken, Jersey City, and Weehawken improve flood control infrastructure and more responsibly return stormwater back into our environment. So again, I want to thank Mayor Bhalla and the Council for continuing this important work. You have my word that we'll continue to work hand in hand with you and others to make sure Hoboken gets the resources it needs to be a more resilient city. It's no secret that in densely populated states like New Jersey, and especially in urban areas like Hudson County, creating green space can be a challenge. But the Northwest Resilience Park will help us live up to our moniker as the Garden State by providing a safe and beautiful public space for families, for children, and seniors to enjoy, all the while better preventing dangerous flooding and better managing storm runoff. Projects like this one are exactly why Hoboken has emerged from being literally underwater to becoming a national model for resiliency and flood mitigation. Of course, we elected officials can't take all the credit. At the end of the day, I think this project is a testament to the people of Hoboken and their values. I saw it the many times I was here immediately after Sandy. They came together in an hour of great need. They fought to rebuild their city. And most admirably, they looked past the destruction and saw the potential to create a brighter future for all of Hoboken's families. So to all those residents, we say thank you, we salute you. Communities like this one make serving New Jersey and the United States Senate an honor of a lifetime. I can't wait to come back and explore the park, Mayor, once it's open And again, congratulations on a tremendous success.
Make no mistake about it. Today's announcement of $14 million for Hoboken's Northwest Resiliency Park and flooding infrastructure is a historic achievement that will deliver one of the most innovative projects, not just in our region, not just in our state, but in the entire country. This is one of the largest grants Hoboken has ever received and provides a major multi-million-dollar boost to our state-of-the-art flood mitigation efforts. With climate change resulting in even more frequent heavy rain events, our Northwest Resiliency Park will provide game-changing flood mitigation to the region. We're designing the park to withhold up to 2 million gallons of rainwater during storms, which would otherwise flood homes and businesses during major storms. Directly behind us is a cistern that we just saw that can withhold up to 50,000 gallons of rainwater that will be reused, as the senator said, to irrigate the park. Behind that, a large underground storage tank will have the capacity to withhold up to 1 million gallons of rainwater. Now, above ground, the park will also include green infrastructure, including hundreds of trees and 19 rain gardens to absorb and withhold 750,000 gallons of rainwater. But perhaps most impressively, the everyday features of the park will be creatively designed to serve as storage basins, collecting rainwater during storms. The multi-purpose athletic field will serve as a basin to collect 290,000 gallons of rainwater, while the basketball court will serve as a basin to collect 86,000 gallons of rainwater. You can almost think of the athletic field and the basketball court as bathtubs collecting and storing the water during these rainstorms. The positive impacts will be immediately felt by the surrounding community. When constructed, the park will reduce combined sewer overflows in Northwest Hoboken from 4 times a month to 4 times a year, an incredible 90% decrease. These types of innovative and creatively designed mitigation techniques, both above ground and below ground, are precisely the reason why we won this $14 million. Combined with the park's above-ground amenities, including an athletic field, open lawn, ice skating rink, playground equipment, and more, residents will experience firsthand these major quality-of-life improvements for generations to come. And perhaps most impressively, the park was acquired and now is being constructed through a number of strategic financing methods, including low and interest-free loans through New Jersey's Infrastructure Bank, our dedicated Open Space Trust Fund, and the county's Open Space Trust Fund, and now this new FEMA grant that has zero impact on our municipal budget. The Northwest Resiliency Park is being built in partnership with the North Hudson Sewerage Authority, and $4 million of the total grant is being awarded to them to fund the stormwater infrastructure upgrades around the park. And I want to thank the NHSA Executive Director, Dr. Richard Wolf, and engineer Fred Pochi for their strong support for Hoboken's resiliency efforts. There are so many people here today to recognize that both made this park possible and this project possible. And I want to again thank our federal elected officials, Senator Menendez, Senator Cory Booker, and Congressman Albio Ceres, all of whom lobby hard for this grant with FEMA. I also want to express my sincere gratitude to Governor Philip Murphy, also Colonel and of the State Police and the state's FEMA coordinator, Pat Callahan, and Dan Kelly from the Governor's office, who is here today. The state's strong support for this project helped facilitate the grant, and I can't thank them enough for leading us through the process.